Take a minute.
It'll be a new normal, though.
Well, even Austin, like it's not the same. It's actually bigger. It's growing.
This city grew, I'm sure.
Grew.
I'm sure a lot of people from the Bay moved here for the tech jobs.
Yep.
The weather's good.
Yep.
The restrictions aren't as oppressive.
People are nicer too. That's the big one for me. My feelings here are different. I feel I have less anxiety here. I feel like people are nicer. They're genuinely friendly.
But do you think that people are nice, or do you think the circles you were rolling in California weren't as nice?
No, it's just regular people that you meet. Like there's a guy in my neighborhood. I look forward to waving to this guy every day. He's an old dude who works on his lawn. And this motherfucker will wave at everybody who drives by. He's there digging, and like, he sees a car, it's like,
No, that's hilarious.
and every day I see that guy, I get ready. I'm going to wave to my friend. I see him, I'm like, hey, waves at me, we make a little eye contact. It feels good. I never got that in California. Nobody ever stopped from digging in their lawn to look up and wave at you, at every car that passes by. This guy waves at every car.
That's sweet.
It's sweet.
How old is this guy?
Probably 70s, 80s.
Okay.
An older fella.
If it was a guy my age, it'd be weird, though. What's happening? Nobody wants to see that shit.
Yeah, that's a little odd. He's a little too friendly.
Call the police.
Yeah, 20-year-old kids doing laundry out there waving at everybody.
Hilarious.
Yeah, no, it's age appropriate. But it's just there's friendly people out here, man. There's less of them. People value people when they're not a burden. When you get to 20 million people or whatever the fuck LA is, people they lose their value. They become annoying. There's too many of them on the highway in front of you. There's too many of them around you.
Well, let me ask you this: what is the mechanics of your day like? Is your day mechanically the same as LA? Minus the comedy, obviously, it's COVID. But I would imagine you work out a few hours a day, no matter where you are. You do your show a few hours a day, if you're here or there. You kick it with your wife a few hours a day, and the kids. What else do you do here that you don't do there?
It's just quieter.
It just feels better.
It feels better. It feels better. Like I like the vibe of the city better.
How so?
It's like no one's trying to be famous here. There's a thing in Hollywood, even if you're not a person who's in show business, maybe you had an ambition and you abandoned it. Or maybe you think like now because of reality shows and because of social media, maybe you don't even have to be famous for your talent. You just have to be famous. Like look at the Kardashians and a lot of people that are famous just for being famous. Like there's a weird currency in having a lot of people know who you are. There's a social status to that exists in LA that is primary.
That's
it's above
very true.
all. It's above all.
All right, well, let me say this. First of all, when I remember meeting you in the 90s, this thing never really seemed to affect you. You seemed serious about comedy. I had heard whispering that you did Kung Fu. But you weren't like you were social with all the comedians, but you weren't like the hangout kind of guy. You always off doing your own thing. And even this podcast, even though it grew to be a big thing when it started, I don't even think you would start it with the intention, I'm going to blow this motherfucker up. You just did it.
Yeah, there was never a thought of blowing it up. It was just silly. There's a video, it was a funny video that was in the Comedy Store documentary of Tom Segura leaving my house, talking about leaving my house and talking to Red Band, saying, what is he doing? Why does he do this? And he's like, I don't know. He wants to do it all the time. He wants to do this stupid fucking podcast that no one's listening to.
Yeah, it's dope. It's dope. I mean, but at that time, and even still, the way I remember LA, it's winner's circle.
Yeah.
And earlier in my career, like if you're doing well in LA, like now it's fun as fuck out there. All the ropes open up, and oh, Mr. Chappelle, and they accommodate you expertly because they're so proficient with hospitality.
Yeah.
But if you're not doing good, they'll remind you just as quick.
Yeah, it makes you feel bad.
It makes you feel bad.
I've seen people, the look on their face when you pass through the line and the security guard goes, oh, come on up here. And the other people that are waiting, they watch you walk through. They feel terrible.
Oh, God, I hope not. Because I do it all the time. Nigga. I'm a rope crossing motherfucker. No more waiting for me.
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying? Like for those people that are in that line, to be that person that gets called to the front of the line and the doors just open, they grab that velvet rope. Oh, Mr. Chappelle.
Right, flagrant elitism.
Yeah, they love it. They love it. And they wish it was them.
Yeah.
And they want to be hanging with you. Maybe if I'm hanging with Dave, I'll get through that rope.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So
I'm with Dave.
It's-
Oh, you're with Dave. Come on in.
I told you the first time I met Denzel Washington, a guy did that to me. He came over to my table like, Dave, I hate to bother you, but Denzel Washington's here. Would you like to meet him? I'm like, oh my God, yeah. And he brings me over to the table.
Wow.
Denzel Washington is Dave Chappelle. I'm like, oh my God, Denzel very gracious. And then the guy goes, and my name is. I'm like, oh, this motherfucker didn't know me. He used me. It is wild out there.
That's hilarious.
It's wild out there, man.
Yeah, it is wild. There's social climbers in LA that it's an art form. They're skilled. They know how to do it.
I think I moved to Ohio initially to be free
Yeah.
of these feelings you described.
Yeah.
This idea that, I started so young that I didn't know how to untether the rest of my life from those interests. And geography was the quickest life hack.
I love the way you talk about Ohio. I really do. I've always loved it. I love you do a lot of things that I think are awesome.
Man, thanks, bro.
It's just you've always been a kind person, despite all of your success, all the accolades, all the love that you get. You've never let it turn you into someone who felt like you were better than other people. Like I've seen you, the way you interact with the door people at the store. That to me is everything.
Right.
How do you treat the door staff? How do you treat the bartender? Are you friendly with all those folks? And if you're not, man, you're kind of missing the whole point. Like you can make someone's day just by being cool.
That's what always makes me laugh about Punky.
Yes.
She was the last time I saw her, she was a barback.
Now she's on SNL.
And the next time I saw her, she was rehearsing at SNL. It made me feel real good for her.
She's amazing.
And I thought of all the comedians that might treat the barbacks like shit. They're like, you better be careful.
Yeah, right?